Hello everyone, and welcome to American Mcgee's Alice in Wonderland. This game is a reimagining of the original two books, Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. Or rather, this is after the two books, where a few things have happened to Alice, and, well, she gets started. I'm going to be playing on medium. The other difficulty levels don't add anything to the game, they just make the enemies harder or easier depending on the difficulty. So I'm going to be going on medium. Pretty lazy, I know.
Wake up, Dormy. It's time for the tea party. Hush, the treacle.
I've got one. Why is a raven like a writing desk? Oh dear, oh dear.
You must save Alice.
Wake up, Alice, wake up!
Mom? Dad? Alice? Mom! Father?
I can't see!
Get out, Alice!
Save yourself, Alice! Get out of the house!
Poor dear. After all these years, maybe that old rabbit will bring her around.
Save us, Alice!
And there you have it. We're going to be spawning in the Village of the Doomed in Chapter 1, Dementia.
Please don't dawdle, Alice. We're very late indeed.
You've gone quite mangy, Cat, but your grin's a comfort.
And you've picked up a bit of an attitude, still curious and willing to learn, I hope.
Wonderland's become quite strange. How is one to find her way?
As knowing where you're going is preferable to being lost, ask. Rabbit knows a thing or two, and I myself don't need a weather vane to tell which way the wind blows. Let your need guide your behavior. Suppress your instinct to lead. Pursue, Rabbit.
So here we are. We've just fallen down the rabbit hole, and we are now in Wonderland. Hardly as wonderful as it was, but there you go. You control Alice in this game. Basic WASD controls, mouse to look around, and let's move on. I wonder who this guy is.
Our land is destroyed, our spirit crushed.
Reminds me of the asylum. Is there no joy here?
Slavery and happiness cannot dwell in the same house.
When the path is problematical, consider a leap of faith. Ride the wind.
Not exactly the cheeriest little slave in the bunch. All of the torch gnomes in here are pretty much downers, you know, being enslaved and all. It's not that surprising. But then there's the Cheshire Cat to completely ignore that and tell you to jump into wind.
Stir up no trouble, stranger. The Red Queen's agents are ruthless.
I'm not afraid of her or her creatures. Never was, really. You should stand up to them.
Defiance is useless. While the Queen reigns, only death can release us from this misery.
Or her death, I suppose.
Meta-essence is the life force of Wonderland. That of your enemies is especially potent. Collect what you can. Use it wisely.
It seems to me they couldn't really decide on an accent for the torch gnomes, but it's alright. So, like the Cheshire Cat said, meta-essence is basically your health points in this game. You can see we took a little bit of damage from falling down the rabbit hole, so let's pick this up. Perfect. And here's our first item of the game, the Vorpal Blade.
Your knife is necessary, but not sufficient. Always collect what's useful. Reject only your ignorance, and you may survive.
So looking around in this game, you can see a lot of different things. The Red Queen's tentacles are one of the main sort of themes down here, but that's not the biggest deal. You did just see the March Hare running into a door over there, which is sort of a big point in this game, and we're going to be chasing him for a little while.
Everyone seems completely dejected. Are things really as bad as all that?
The truth would reduce you to a blubbering baby. Are you the savior Rabbit has been telling us about all this time?
I shouldn't think so. I'm a person. And just now, I wish to get very small. About this big.
Calls for serious twisting. You'll need to go sideways, not forward. If I knew how, I'd go sideways myself.
Not twisted, small. I wish to become about this big.
The Fortress of Doors holds such secrets, but it will take more than a wish to get inside.
Doors have locks. Locks need keys, which you don't have. Let's hope the doors are open.
And if not, there may be more than one way to skin a cat, if you'll pardon the expression.
Most unpleasant metaphor. Please avoid it in future.
Huh. Well, anyway. Up here we'll see our first enemy, one of the card guards. And this is a perfect time to show off the new weapon. The Vorpal Blade has two basic attacks. Left click slashes it in front of you, does a little bit of damage, and right click throws the knife, which does a lot of damage. It's actually one of the more damaging abilities in the game, but it does have a pretty long cooldown, so I wouldn't be using it helter-skelter without, thinking about it too hard. And here we are.
Only a few find the way. Some don't recognize it when they do. Some don't ever want to.
Thank you for that.
Rabbit told us a champion would come. Are you that champion?
Perhaps. Can you get me inside the Fortress of Doors?
Oh no, I wouldn't dare. Since the upheaval, we've all become gutless half-wits. I can barely risk crossing the road. But make your way to the mines, the deepest pit. There's one wiser and braver than myself who might help. He still lives free.
I love how self-deprecating all of these guys are. It's amazing, really. Anyway.
Every adventure requires a first step. Trite but true even here.
He seems rather unfocused. I'm standing right behind him. Huh. Anyway, let's move on. Let's go into your mine. Anyway, that was Chapter 1. And we're moving on to Chapter 2, Pandemonium. But, for now, I think this will be enough. See you guys later.